Hello, hello. It's Sahara. I just got back from feeding the fairies, and you might hear the harp music being played downstairs. The fairies like it. The funny thing is, the only thing they really like to eat is angel food cake, which kind of makes sense. Um, Kind of angelic food. Well, I when I came back, I realized I didn't do the tarot cards for Al Gore's chart. I hope that the previous shoot of his chart cheers you up a little bit. We can only hope that our current leaders will pay attention to him this time. He was really elected as president, but the religious right kind of took over, and now, many years later, we have their choice, Donald Trump. And it is time to pay attention. I think Mr. Gore did not win the election because he had other things to do. He was guided, to tell you the truth. The most important thing in his chart is the galactic center here at 28 degrees, and its Jupiter is it's like an antenna to the wisdom of the universe. Is if you think about where the galactic center is, it's way, way far away, and it is wisdom from the universe. And you want to look to see if you have any of these points in your chart as well. But I didn't get a chance to show you the tarot cards that go along with Al Gore's chart. In the previous shoot, I showed you his fiery 10-degree Aries sun in the ninth house, which is really important. It's in a fire house, and it's a fire sign. So we have somebody that is really motivated. He has, I guess, he has the true fire in his heart. This is the card that goes along with 10 degrees. It's the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune says, I'm aware of the big picture. I also get help from, I guess it's good luck. The best way to describe it, the Wheel of Course, that's what it's called. And wisdom. It reduces to one, the magician. You will note that the magician has all the tools he needs to do what he needs to do. He has all his tools. He is connected with heaven and earth. He has the symbol of infinity over his head. The thing about 10 and 1 is that they stand alone. They have their own thing to do. Even they don't often aren't married. And I understand Mr. Gore got a divorce after he lost the election. And it's too bad because Tipper was really cool. But they stand alone. They have their own battle. And that's what he's had. He's had to be so strong amidst the naysayers and criticism of the captains of industry that really, really didn't want to stop the progress with marching forward and wrecking our planet. Mr. Gore never wanted to say, I told you so, and it's happening. So let's look at the rest of his cards. Here is his ascendant, his rising sign. This shows you who you are in your early environment. And in the previous video, I talked a lot about where he came from, a tobacco farm, and also being the son of a famous and well-connected congressman, and the pressure, famous people, children of famous people either crumble or rise to the occasion when they have a famous parent, and he was pushed, and so was George Bush. It shows the same amount of pressure, and so we know, for those of you that were voting during the election where George Bush chose, the powerful Republicans stole the election, and off we went to war. Whoops, sorry. It's not a pretty picture. You just don't know. Clinton had put in some electric things that saved electricity and stopped the White House from burning coal, and solar panels. When George Bush came in, he took the solar panels out, and back on went the coal burning facilities of the White House, and other, he stopped progress. That's just amazing, because George Bush came from an oil family. They're not really so nuts about all these big ideas to stave on gas. So we had George Bush, and I hope we get to his chart later, because his chart is really interesting. He was pushed. It just happens sometimes. Here we have the galactic center. It was at 28 of Sagittarius, and it was Jupiter. Very, very, very. Jupiter's most positive. It's also a very spiritual planet. So you're receiving from the galactic center guidance, real guidance, and it shows here with the magician. See, 10 reduces to 1, and we see that in the rest of his cards. And so he was guided. He got knowledge from above, and he could bring it down to the earth. He has divinity over his head and all the tools on his table. And the moon, a Capricorn moon, I love Capricorn, is 3 degrees, and it shows his background being raised on a beautiful Tennessee farm. And Tennessee's a beautiful state if you haven't been through there. Rocky Top is my favorite, so go see Tennessee. I love the place. But we have the moon Empress. I love the outdoors. The Empress sits outdoors with lush greenery all around her. She's ruled by Venus, and Venus is a planet ruled by Taurus, and they love their land, and they love the luxury and to enjoy the goodness of the earth. So that is part of who he is. His mom was probably strict, but also a guiding force, because Capricorn is kind of straight characters. I should know. I'm a Capricorn. And let me get over here to the midheaven. Once again, 21. And 21 is the world, and you're getting all kinds of help from the world around you. This is a wonderful blessing. Really, he was meant to deal with our allies. He could so effectively, because this is the world, and he has it at his command. And 1 plus 2 is 3. Once again, we have the Empress. I love the land. I love nature, and this has come true for who he is, and it is his guiding force. He's been, I don't think Mr. Gore ever wanted to say, "I told you so," and I hope it doesn't happen that way. So I'm going to bid adieu. I'm going to go back to the fairies and listen to the harp music and contemplate the next chart I want to do. If you have any people you'd like me to look at, I'm concentrating a lot on Leo's rising, and especially Leo moons, because Leos, they know they are the center of the solar system, and they receive that kind of energy and, let's say, charisma and presence. So you see them just mathematically, they are like 4 times more likely, especially the moon. Moon comes before the public. You're going to see more Leos out front and being leaders and positive leaders. So they're not always a class clown as they're portrayed. The Leo goes through a phase of class clown, wanting to be the center of attention, and Leo is the guy that puts the lampshade on his head in a party and walks across the room and says, "I'm lit up." Okay, they pass. That's funny to a point, but they pass through that. Once they realize they are not the center of the solar system and the universe, they start to look deeper for a true center, and they move into spirituality, and they're your most spiritual sign because they're very attuned to the center, the grounding that we all need. So they become religious and spiritual leaders. Gandhi had a Leo moon. Yogananda had a Leo moon. They were great spiritual leaders. I bet you Jesus had a Leo moon that we don't know. So I bid you adieu. Back downstairs I go to the fairies and to listen to the music and see if they want any more angel food cake. I want you to please subscribe. Look to the right hand corner. You're going to see a little cat, and press it, and that will subscribe you. And leave your information below in the comments section, and your information will be your birth information, and I can send you a chart, a good chart, and also suggestions of who you'd like to see next. I have Michael Jackson, let's see, Whitney Houston, George Bush, Obama, a whole bevy of interesting personalities and the way they came to the forefront of our lives. So I bid you adieu. Click subscribe, and I'll also leave your information below, and see when you press the button to subscribe if it doesn't meow. It's a new technological advance I've made. I'm not sure if it'll work, so let's try it out.